that's gonna install with this. So go ahead and click add features, click next. Right here, as you can see that .NET Framework 3.5 features, 1 is installed out of 3. I have installed 1 already for another demo. So what we're gonna do is, this is very important for a lot of softwares, not just for Active Directory, but a lot of other softwares to work properly, because it combines the power of .NET Framework 2.0 and 3.0 together. So we're gonna go ahead and install rest of the HTTP and non-HTTP activation features as well. So go ahead, click add features, click next, and click next. This web server role IIS services will add more feature to the IIS later on, but for now, for this demo, installing Active Directory domain services, this is plenty. So we're gonna go ahead and just click on web server and click next. You have an option to restart the destination server. Destination server means this server once these tools are installed, but we're not gonna click onto that, but we may need to install any other feature. Then we're gonna go ahead and install that feature and then restart the computer altogether. So go ahead and click install. It's going to take some time, so what I'm going to do is pause the video. Once the installation is completed, if I see any issue, I'll share with you, and also the resolution. But I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, and I'll come back once the installation is successful. Alright, as you can see that configuration required for this installation is completed, and we're going to go ahead and close. The next thing we're going to do, if you can see this little yellow thing right here, in Windows 2008 R2 or 2008, what we used to do in order to install the DNS services, we used to use a command DC promo. But in Windows 2012 R2, it's much nicer. You can click on this little yellow thing and it'll say to promote this computer to a domain controller. So you're going to click onto that. This is what this is going to do, is install your domain network services. So click on that. What we're going to do in this demo is add a new forest. You have an option to add a domain controller to an existing domain, or add a new domain to an existing forest, but since we don't have both, so we're going to go ahead and add a new forest. Forest needs to be there before you install the DNS, so click on that, and here you need to give the root domain name. I'm going to do techbrothers.local. So click next. The forest functional level, you can choose it from here, whether it's 2008, 2000 R2, 2012, or 2012 R2. We're gonna keep it 2012 R2 since this is this demo represents the operating system of 2012 R2. So we're gonna go ahead and give the password. Make sure it's strong, and make sure you remember that and put it in a safe place, because if you need to restore your Active Directory or DNS, you need this password. Click next. Next thing is going to ask you that a delegation for this DNS server cannot be created because the parent zone is not created. Since we haven't added this server into an existing domain, we haven't created the zones that we're going to go ahead and create the zone after the installation of DNS is finished. So go ahead and click next. This NetBIOS domain name is gonna actually get it from your forest. You have an option to change it, but I wouldn't change it. I'm gonna keep it the same way. So click next. These are the locations of your Active Directory domain services database. So you have an option. I wouldn't keep it on C, but for this demo purposes I don't have any other drive but C, so you can change that. These things needed in order to restore the domain services, Active Directory domain services, just so that you know in your organization if that time comes. So click next. If you can, this is the summary. If you click on view script, this is the script behind the scene is going to run to do all that for us. You can copy this script, and if you need to create another one, another domain controller, and you wanted to use the PowerShell, then you can save this script and use this script to do all that. And you can change all this, you know, your domain NetBIOS name and your domain name and forest name, etc. So we're going to go ahead and click next. It's going to check the prereq before installing Active Directory domain services. So we'll let it check it. So all the prereq are completed successfully. A few warnings here. If you're doing a production installation and you're going to use this domain in your organization, production domain, I wouldn't worry about much on Windows NT 4.0, but if you have a legacy system, that you need to worry about that. The next thing is that it's telling us that we don't have the lookup zones, so it's okay because we're going to create later on. Rest everything looks good. If you didn't have the static IP up here, that warning would appear here, that this machine has a network but not the static IP. So go ahead, and I'm gonna go ahead and click install. It's gonna take some time, so I will go ahead and pause the video. If there is any issue, I'll go ahead and share with you and the resolution to those issues. Alright, as you can see that operation completed successfully. We have installed successfully Active Directory domain, and it needs restart. So we're going to go ahead and close this, and it's going to restart the computer. It's not going to take long to restart since it's a virtual machine. In the beginning, actually, I forgot to do the step 3, which is create another user that can be the domain admin. Right now, once this restart